The Imperial flagship Dominion slid into Earth orbit with the silent grace of predators throughout the cosmos. Admiral Krell stood on the bridge, his six-fingered hands clasped behind his back as he gazed at the blue planet below. To him, it was merely another conquest, another world to be stripped of resources, another species to be subjugated. "Broadcast the message," he ordered. The communications officer nodded. Within moments, every electronic device on Earth capable of receiving a signal displayed the same image. Admiral Krell's stern face, ridged forehead, and eyes that had witnessed the fall of 1,000 civilizations. "People of Earth," he began, his translator converting his clicks and hisses into human language. "The Galactic Empire requires your immediate compliance. You will provide annual tribute of 20% of your planet's resources and 1 million human laborers. Failure to comply within 7 rotations will result in orbital bombardment of your major population centers. This is not negotiation. This is your reality now." The message ended abruptly. On Earth, in the United Nations Emergency Council Chamber, President Wilson of the North American Alliance slammed his fist on the table. "They expect us to just roll over? To hand over our people like cattle?" Director Lee of the Pan-Asian Coalition shook her head. "We have been monitoring their approach for weeks. Their technology is far superior to ours. Conventional weapons would be useless." General Rodriguez leaned forward. "But not all our weapons are conventional." The chamber fell silent. "We've been preparing for this possibility since we detected their fleet entering our solar system," Rodriguez continued. "Project Thunderbolt is ready." "That's madness," European Union Chancellor Berg protested. "Total war against an empire that spans galaxies? What choice do we have?" asked Wilson. "Surrender our resources, our people, for what? To delay the inevitable? No. If humanity goes down, we go down fighting." The vote was unanimous. 6 days later, Admiral Krell frowned at the message from Earth. They were requesting a meeting aboard the Dominion to discuss terms of surrender. How predictable. He granted permission, allowing a small delegation to dock with his vessel. The human representatives, 5 of them, were escorted to the conference room. They brought with them a large metal container, which they claimed held symbolic gifts from Earth's nations. "Admiral," President Wilson began, "we come to discuss the terms of Earth's relationship with the Empire." Krell's translator converted. His response, "There are no terms to discuss. You will provide tribute or face annihilation." Wilson nodded slowly. "We suspected as much. That's why we brought our response." He tapped a code into his communicator. Across Earth's orbit, hidden, satellites activated. Within the metal container the delegation had brought aboard, a quantum entanglement device initiated, and in underground silos across Earth, advanced missiles launched toward pre-calculated coordinates. "What is the meaning of this?" Krell demanded, as alarms blared throughout the Dominion. "Humanity," Wilson said calmly, "does not surrender. We do not become slaves. If threatened with extinction, we fight." Krell laughed. "Your primitive weapons cannot penetrate our shields." "We're not aiming at your shields," Wilson replied. In that moment, the quantum entanglement device detonated, creating a temporary wormhole within the Dominion. Simultaneously, Earth's missiles, carrying specialized EMP warheads and guided by the hidden satellites, struck at precise weak points in the Imperial fleet's formation. The Empire had conquered thousands of worlds, but they had become complacent. They expected capitulation. They never expected a species to sacrifice their diplomatic delegation in a suicide mission. They never expected a supposedly primitive world to have developed quantum weapons. They never expected total war. The Dominion's power systems failed. Emergency bulkheads slammed shut as sections of the ship depressurized. The human delegation would perish, but they had succeeded in their mission. Back on Earth, Major Thomas monitored the situation from Command Central beneath the Rocky Mountains. "Phase 1 complete," he reported. "Imperial flagship disabled. Fleet in disarray." General Rodriguez nodded grimly. "Launch Phase 2. Earth's orbital defense platforms concealed beneath stealth technology powered up. Drone carriers released their swarm of autonomous fighters. And from the dark side of the moon, Humanity's secret fleet, built over decades in anticipation of this moment, emerged. The Empire had expected an easy conquest. Instead, they found themselves caught in a carefully orchestrated trap, fighting an enemy who had chosen the battlefield and had nothing to lose. 3 days later, Admiral Krell, now a prisoner of war, was brought before the United Nations Council. "How?" he asked, his arrogance replaced by genuine confusion. "How did a single planet defeat an Imperial battle group?" President Wilson leaned forward. "Because you threatened our existence. Throughout human history, we've fought each other, over resources, territory, ideology. But when faced with extinction, we unite. When backed into a corner, we don't surrender. We annihilate the threat." "The Empire will send more ships," Krell warned. "Thousands more. We're counting on it," General Rodriguez said. "Your ship's databanks have provided us with Imperial fleet positions, communication protocols, and weaknesses in your technology. We've already dispatched our own fleets to key strategic locations." Krell's eyes widened. "You've had interstellar capabilities all along?" "For decades," Director Lee confirmed. "But unlike the Empire, we chose to observe rather than conquer. We studied you while remaining hidden. Every world you've subjugated will soon receive the means to fight back." "You've initiated a galactic civil war," Krell whispered. "Chancellor." Berg nodded. "No, you initiated it when you threatened Earth. We're simply ensuring you fight it on multiple fronts." As Krell was led away, Major Thomas entered with urgent news. "The quantum communications network is active. Resistance movements on 17 Imperial worlds have already responded to our message." President Wilson stood, gazing at the holographic display of the galaxy. Highlighted points indicated potential allies, Imperial strongholds, and targets for Earth's newly revealed fleet. "The Empire demanded tribute," he said quietly. "They expected submission. Instead, they awakened something they never accounted for: humanity's refusal to be conquered, our ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds, and our willingness to take the fight to them." The room fell silent as the implications settled over them. Earth hadn't just defended itself, it had declared war on the most powerful force in the galaxy, and they had just scored their first victory.